And I added some language because the direction that you gave me is that, the council gave me is that you wanted the Wasatch Open Lands Board to do kind of a grassroots citizen involvement type of process. So that language was added in there, and then I accepted all those other changes.
And I think what we kind of wanted to do here was look at it so we had something to talk to the other entities about. Is that correct, Steve? Or is that how you, so we've got that, we can go with you and
Mark and I were going to be Midway City, and if we're all right with this today, we won't be on.
then I think, was it Danny, was it you and Mike that were going to meet, or was it Kendall and Mike that were going to meet with you? Kendall, it was Kendall. Oh, that's right, you were at the start. That was kind of what we had talked about, is that correct? Okay. Well, thank you. And if we have any issues or concerns, then we'll just get back with Doug. Sound good?
Well, are we all right to make this?
Well, we can't take action.
I know, but
I think this reflects what we talked about last week, and since we just got it, I thought we'd look over it, and if there were any concerns, we'd get with Doug. But
yeah, okay. But we need to try to make copies and pass them out to the city so they have an opportunity.
yeah. Do we want to? Who wants to do? I mean, I guess I thought maybe that's what you do when you met with them. Just give them a copy.
Well,
Go through it with them.
Yeah, I'd like to give them one beforehand.
Can you have the ability to send those to like someone at Hebron?
I can give them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to just send all of you electronic copies?
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay.
So Steve will do Midway.
Well, you and I are going to be.
I mean, but you'll send that
it
to me.
them, or you want me to?
Yeah, we have two.
Any other questions for Doug on this one? Oh, Tracy.
I do. Can I?
You bet. Absolutely.
Speak? Tracy Taylor. I asked for a copy of this just so I could look it over as well. And the only thing I kind of noticed that wasn't included in here yet was the inclusion, or, you know, I think it's been quite clear in the last couple of years, some may say the last 15 years, that the Utah Open Lands has been really eager to help with us in any way, shape, or form on this. That, you know, they have offered their help before in the past. And so my question here in the Section 3 organizational structure and the voting members of the board is I don't see any reference to an open space entity or somebody that has already, I mean, let's just bring up Utah Open Lands. They have offered to help us in the future. And so I'm wondering where the inclusion of them is in this document.
I think that they're included, they could be included by the board as a technical asset.
Real
resource to them.
Well,
And
and
not necessarily a voting member of the board, because the board with county tax money or bond money, if that's what it is, I think it's best to.
well, and that's something to discuss more in the future, but I just thought I'd mention that I don't really see them anywhere in
I
here.
assume that they'd be a resource to help us.
I guess that's how I viewed it too. That's just my opinion. Is they're a good resource, and they seem to be willing every time we talk to them to be there. But as far as including them on a board of something, I wasn't.
Right, and just the other thing, as a real estate broker myself, you said in the document that you would include a citizen who either has real estate or open space expertise. And quite honestly, you can be a real estate broker and have real estate expertise and have absolutely no idea about open space. And so my suggestion maybe would be to divide those off and just say a real estate person and an open space expert or knowledgeable in open space, because those are really two separate things. I just really don't want anybody to think just because you're in real estate you know federal law and state law and all that kind of stuff too on open space. So
Thank you for the suggestion. I appreciate it. Well, I think that'll be part of the record for our board, and we'll make it so as we choose folks, or however we choose those folks, that's important to consider.
I was assuming too, Tracy, that this board may reach out to get more expertise as with an advisory board to this advisory board.
Or some resources to that.
I think it'd be wise to have Utah Open Lands or some other open space entity
As a resource.
to guide this committee through the process, because if it's not set up correctly, or the criteria for which this committee is going to decide certain lands, it may be very difficult to get federal grants. And so we'll be paying 100% purchase on everything, and that money just doesn't go very far. So,
Steve, would you think it'd be all right if we put a slot for Utah Open Lands as a non-voting member of the advisory board, or do you think as a resource that?
I think we just use them as a resource, because having them on the board as even there, like, may turn somebody off and say we're not going to work with Utah Open Lands.
however we discuss it in the future is fine.
Yeah, but I think it's a good point to make sure we know that they're willing and able to be a good resource, and they always have been. I don't mind the idea of an ex officio, but I like the idea of a resource more so than an ex officio member, I guess, just for this is my opinion.
Well, I mean, part of the problem is, like Steve's saying, it's a bit of, well, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but it's a little bit of appearance. This is a local board, and we want their expertise as much as we can, but we don't want any member of the county, any citizen of the county to think this is an outside entity leading us or telling us what to do.
And they're only one member of a 7-member board anyway, so that wouldn't happen anyway. But
I think
it's just something to discuss.
And not necessarily a board member.
Thank you for that suggestion. I think it's important to know that they've always been willing and able to.
Well, and they're a key component on the success of this committee. Any open space nonprofit who's been doing this for, I mean, we need some component like that to make sure we're getting the maximum benefit of this money.
And amend this in a local agreement to include them if you find it viable to make it work. But I think to start out, we ought to just go the way it was spelled out now, and enlarge it as we go down the road if we need to.
Okay.
Anything else on this item?
No, I think Steve's right. Keep it local for now and see how it goes.
Yeah,
if we need to pull them in,
they're there and willing. I like that. Any other comments or questions, Mark?
Just to comment on the first recital, is that the right list of the entities?
I think that's where we wanted to start, wasn't it? With the 3.
Yeah, but I don't know about the Chamber of Commerce being in that.
Yeah,
I think maybe that should be eliminated.
okay.
Where's that?
That's just listed after the right.
We have the Chamber of Commerce as a board member. If I get rid of them, then we'll probably want to have, another citizen member, or?
No, I don't know if we want to have, we would have them as a board member, but I don't know if we want to have them as a signature.
Oh,
in the
that's it.
agreement.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm going to take them out as a.
And as we, I guess what I thought was where we just got this today, we're going to see something that we may want to call Doug and say, hey Doug, what do you think about this? And then if we want to contact him.
why were we using chamber instead of tourism and economic development?
It was just
It's almost the same
I
thing.
think you were saying the same thing.
Yeah.
From the old.
Is that what we copied over from the old documentation? Is that what it is? Or-
That was what we looked at last meeting.
It was in the original document.
Was the original
back in
document.
2000.
Because the chamber was a different entity than it is today.
Yeah, we were using that as kind of the.
Okay. So we'll just review this, and we're going to bring this back next week?
Well, I
Or
think
what do
if you have any suggestions, I think this is the kind of the working template they're going to take to the other cities. And if we see anything, let's redline it or exit, and then it will obviously come back.
Yeah, and I think we better,
After we meet with the other.
I think we better put on here a draft.
Draft, yeah.
It says draft.
It says draft and.
Where does it?
It's really
Big
faint.
letters,
Oh.
just very faint.
End of the title is
As you get over your eyesight, I don't want to see that.
I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because the cities Midway and Heber may have
Yeah.
some changes they'd like to make.
And that was the discussion we had last time. Let's get something we can go with and then turn it into a working document. So, thank you, Doug, on that one. Okay, we'll move to item number 2.